Okay, we are live. Now, we gotta wait for some viewers. Those that are watching this video like days later on, dude. Those that have, oh my god. Motherfucker just. Okay, stars, hang on. Yes, I'm live. Yeah, I know I'm live. Okay. Now, fucking Dreamcatcher. Now, hang on, let me wait for some viewers though. Okay, so since we are live, now let me point something out. Those that have watched my live streams, like the ones too, the Earth is a Prison, Book of Enoch, Gospel of Judas, Apocalypse of Adam, Emerald Tablets of Fire, drew about the like in Star of David and Gods of the Bible. If you all thought that I'm like telling a lie, this live stream you're watching, this is no joke. For starters, we are not talking about a banned Bible or something crazy. We are talking about a certain person that showed us the truth. During the 16th century. Wait, was it the 16th century? Yeah, the 16th century. Oh my god. During the 16th century, you guys are not going to believe who we are talking about. And when you saw the profile, like, wait, isn't this one of the human fighters that you chose for Record of Ragnarok? Dude, those that have watched that live stream, the human fighters, most of them are like based off of real world persons, like real world people. Oh, damn. Okay, like I was just trying to tell you all. We are talking about a certain person named Nostradamus. And this guy is no joke. He was a true prophet. And when I mean he's a true prophet, like he's more like provable than any Abrahamic prophets. Even though I don't know if Nostradamus was a Christian or a Abrahamic pantheon follower, but this guy saw through the future. Like he predicted stuff during the 15 years. When, like, let's say, like, bro, like, he lived during the 16th century, and this guy was no joke. Nostradamus, the man who can see through the future. And I don't care if I get no viewers or not. I'm just gonna get started with this shit either way. Alright. Why not? Before I get started, I don't know why. Lucky, come here. Kitty, Piss and Boots. We're on YouTube again. We're back on YouTube again. See that, Lucky? Back on YouTube. Oh, you're such a fluffy cat. Oh my gosh, you're such a fluffy cat. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm stop wasting time. Okay. Alright, there you go, Lucky. Get going. Okay, let's get started. In the 16th century, Nostradamus was a true prophet. He saw. Wait, hang on. What the fuck? How did I got that? Saw for the future. Some of his predictions, most of them were actually true. That happened during real world history. He has predicted the rise of World War II of Adolf Hitler invasions, the French Revolution, the atomic bomb, the event of 9/11, and he even predicted the deadly plague would one day strike on the earth, on the world, from the east to the year 2020. That will be the beginning of COVID-19. He has predicted a new world war that could be the deadly than any one that could destroy the very foundation of humanity. Some even said that he even predicted the assassination of Donald Trump. Nostradamus was the awakened one. Since he had the ability to see through the future, that would mean he would know who God really was. What Yalda Bay of the Demiurge. So what I mean by that, like, since Nostradamus, he had that ability, like he had the ability where he could see for the future, that would mean he would know who God really was. Like he'll know like the real Satan was basically the God from the Old Testament, Yalda Bay of the Demiurge, Yahweh. Therefore, he might knew what Gnosticism was. He would know that we are inside a prison earth, and the earth is basically hell itself. And he was an awakened one. So that means like when he died, he was not reincarnated. He probably went back up with the eons. Yeah. See. Yeah, see, like Lucky, like come here, Lucky. Let me show you something. Like, you know, like Lucky, ouch, my leg. Okay, Lucky, like look at this. Do you see this shit, cat? Like, cat, like you see this? Wait, where's the fucking mic? See, look. See, look. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what the hell? Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing with my computer? I gotta use that for school. What the hell? Are you? Wait, no, don't lick the key. Wait, what are you doing? What the fuck did you just do to my Chromebook? Hey, what'd you just do to my Chromebook? Hey, oh my god, whoa, 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 what'd you just do? How do I stop this? Lucky, what the hell? Oh my gosh, why'd you have to do that, cat? That made no fucking sense. What the hell? You just had to do it in my Chromebook? I just wanted to show you. Okay, no, I'm not gonna show you. He's licking his ass. I'm not gonna show that part of YouTube. But YouTube, though, dude, please do not copyright this shit. Like, I'm not trying to steal this. I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to awaken people from God's hatred. So therefore, we will be reacting to a video. Now, I don't want, if people knew who Nostradamus was, I don't know why some people don't believe him when some of his predictions were true. Think about what happened to the Twin Towers of September 11th, 2001. Please, no ads. Oh, thank God, no.
What do Adolf Hitler, Queen Elizabeth II, 9/11, and Elon Musk all have in common? All four of them are believed to be
what's good, Landon Serban?
multi-century-old prophecies. No, really. All four are considered to have been part of the predictions of renowned French astrologer Nostradamus, who supposedly saw many major world events.
Hang on, let me check on something. I just got a text from someone. Yo, what's good? It's Landry. Yo, what's good, Landry? How you doing? Okay, read the whole thing. Wait, what the hell? Hang on, guys. Let me react to. Hang on, guys. What the fuck? Hang on, man. I'm doing a live stream. I'll read it later. Sorry. Okay. Literally 1,000 people are watching. Bro, I got 8 views. Okay, maybe later on, like maybe days later, then I'll probably get that much views.
Back in the 16th century. Copies of his book, Les Prophéties, first written in 1555, are still being sold today.
By the way, Nostradamus' book, Les Prophéties, it was basically his own Bible. Stuff that actually came true. Okay, what the fuck are you? Thank you, Benny.
Might say that Nostradamus' predictions are vague enough to apply to almost any event. It's hard to deny how eerily.
Yo, what's good, Michael?
Have been. Nostradamus might have foreseen the rise and fall of various world leaders, the reigns of kings, and even the conquests of Napoleon Bonaparte. Then there are predictions of tragedies on a scale that would have been unheard of back in the 1500s, like the birth of the atomic bomb or the September 11th terror attacks on the World Trade Center. These are all of Nostradamus' prophecies that we can find that actually came true, and even some that might end up coming true by the end of 2024.
Michael, I don't remember you, man. I don't know.
Catch you off guard. Let's start with one of Nostradamus' prophecies that came true only 4 years after he first wrote Les Prophéties, the death of King Henry II of France. Nostradamus had written, "The young lion will overcome the older one. On the field of combat in a single battle, he will pierce his eyes through a golden cage. 2 wounds make 1. Then he dies a cruel death." And sure enough, in the summer of 1559,
the fuck you watching? Listen to me, Michael, bro. Hang on.
Nobleman 6 years.
Dude, we are watching. Why are you masturbating? What the fuck? I'm not masturbating, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Bro, I'm trying to teach you guys someone, a true prophet. And Michael, we are watching a video about a certain prophet that told the truth about something. Well, it's not fucking masturbating. What the fuck? Bro, this shit has nothing to do with masturbation, dude. We're talking about Nostradamus. Dude, this guy saw through the future. I don't know why you guys think like none of this was true, but think about why 9/11 happened in the first place. I'm a prophet. Are you sure about that? 16 volume 13. All right, prove it then. Prove that you're a prophet. Do it. Before I play, I want to see proof that you're a prophet. Do it. Do it now. Go ahead, press me. Show me it's true something. I'm waiting. You will kiss a guy. No, the fuck I will not, bro. Y'all crazy and talking about too many myths on some. Dude, search up Nostradamus. His shit is not a lie. Some of that shit that happened that he predicted actually came true. Think about why COVID-19, the coronavirus, happened back in 2020. I'm not on fucking myth, not right now.
Named Gabriel Comte de Montgomery. The two were engaged in a friendly
I know the
jousting
future.
match, and during
I
the
am not gonna
pass,
fucking kiss a
Gabriel's
guy. If that
lance
does shit
angled
happen, I'm gonna
far
beat the
east
shit out of that
and
guy.
in a
So
second,
shut the fuck up and listen
splintering in
on.
2 shards. One was driven through the visor of the king's helmet, piercing his eye, while the other part of the splintered lance was lodged in Henry's temple, driving into his
Jeez.
skull. He spent 10 days in agony from his injuries before dying slowly and painfully in his bed. As sepsis
No, the
prevailed.
hell I would not
According
like
to
it.
some
I'm a straight
reports,
man.
The two jousters' shields bore emblems of lions.
Dude,
with
I'm not fucking gay. Yo, hang on. I need a pen, you guys. Bro, I'm not gonna like it. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, get banned. That's right. Fucking pieces. Hell nah, you're not. Yes, the hell I am. You know, I'll pen you too, Michael. Right. Hang on. Bruh, don't come to my YouTube channel and just fucking do this shit. Yeah. Anyone want to do it? Yeah, I love banning people. Don't do that shit to me again. I ain't fucking gay. I'm trying to show you the truth about something, motherfucker.
the younger lion, Gabriel, overcoming the older Henry by piercing his eyes through a golden cage. Pretty on the nose, right? While it was far from the last time Nostradamus would be right about a forthcoming disaster, he'd previously written, "The blood of the just will commit a fault at London. Burnt through lightning of 23's the 6th, the ancient lady will topple from her high place. Many of the same sect will be killed." 111 years before 1666, when the Great Fire of London eventually took place. A small
Jeez.
fire spreading from a bakery on Pudding Lane, London, erupted into a blaze that engulfed much of the city and lasted 3 whole days. What about the part referencing the blood of the just, though? Peasant fatalities weren't recorded at the time. However, the Great Fire eliminated millions of rats that had been carrying fleas and spreading the Black Death. The plague was certainly a fault in the blood, to say the least, and its spread was largely halted by the fire. So, who was the ancient lady? That one's a puzzle, even by Nostradamus' usual standards, but it could well be referring to the city of London itself, which is pretty ancient. It was first established in 47 AD under the name of Londinium by the Romans.
See, I'm not making this shit up.
The
This is
next
true.
revolution might not be televised, but one of the most famous in history may have been foretold by our favorite French soothsayer. It seemed Nostradamus could hear the people singing the Song of Angry Men a few centuries early, proclaiming in one of his quatrain poems that songs, chants, and demands will come from the enslaved, held captive by the nobility in their prisons. At a later date, brainless idiots will take these as divine utterances. People enslaved by the nobility and demanding change sounds a lot like the French Revolution. By 1789, the people of France had had enough of the brutal rule of the aristocracy and the disparity between the wealthy ruling class and the poorer citizens. There was widespread suffering, particularly for those incarcerated in the Bastille, a medieval fortress in Paris that was repurposed as a state prison. In other words, those sent there were, how would dear old Nostradamus put it? All right, held captive by the nobility in their prisons. So, in July of 1789, the people revolted against the French monarchy, and armed Parisians took to the streets and even stormed the Bastille itself, toppling a symbol of the
Dude, this is some
monarchy's
crazy
oppression
stuff.
and the abuse of the people. So, who were these brainless idiots Nostradamus' prophecy mentioned? Well, in order to have their demands met, the people of France would kidnap members of French royalty, including King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, who were left literally brainless when the guillotines beheaded them. And the revolution was hardly the only major event in France's history that Nostradamus proclaimed to have seen coming either. Of the 900 verses written by Nostradamus as interpretations of what he referred to as visions of things to come, one of his poems read, Pau ne Laurent, more fire than blood, swimming in praise. The great man hurries to the confluence. He will refuse entry to the magpies. Pampon and Durance will confine them. Now, you might be a little bit at a loss as to what all that means, but Pau, Ne, and Laurent are actually references to 3 different towns in Paris, although that last one is actually called Oloron. But rearranging the letters, these 3 towns are actually an anagram for Napoleon Roy. Bear in mind that Nostradamus' prophecies were originally transcribed in a mix of Old French, provincial dialects, Italian, Greek, and Latin, and he occasionally referenced individuals' names through anagrams, particularly anagrams of older forms of their names. So, given some leeway, Napoleon Roy is eerily similar
Omega
to the French
gay.
phrase,
Dude,
Napoleon,
how is this
or
shit gay when
famous
this shit was
Napoleon.
actually telling the
Yet,
truth? Bro, don't fucking call me gay. Dude, I'll fucking beat the shit out of you. Not to mention, this cat right here. Dude, this cat beats the shit out of me every day, so don't fucking test me. Did this cause 9/11? Dude, Nostradamus, he predicted it. He, back in the 50th century, he told this would happen. Yes, indeed. This is what caused 9/11 because Nostradamus actually did predicted that this shit would happen.
That's Napoleon, as in Napoleon Bonaparte.
Let's go, Rinaldo Castaneda.
Revolution and drove his army across
And of course,
Europe
we got
in the hopes of establishing
Lucky.
an empire. More fire than blood could very well be a reference to Napoleon.
He told me your dad, dude.
And seizing power.
Wait, for starters, dude.
Plus his
if my dad is gay, then how would I even be here then? Dude, we're both virgins. We like milfs, alright? So shut the fuck up, bro. I'm gonna fucking... Damn it, hang on. Yeah, I can't talk anymore. Ha!
Using entry to magpies probably has nothing to do with the avian migration paths, as among his many conquests, Napoleon also imprisoned 2 popes, Pius VI and VII. Predicting the future of one country is pretty impressive, but predicting events from other places several thousand miles away, now that's a party trick. And Nostradamus' predictions of the future weren't limited to just being about France. In one quatrain he wrote, "For 7 years, Philip's fortunes will prosper. He will reduce the Arab army, then halfway through, things will perplexedly turn against him. A young onion will destroy his fortune." As it turned out, this prophecy was directly linked to the Catholic king of Spain, Philip II, whose rule had begun just a year after Nostradamus' prophecy
He's banned.
first published.
I banned him.
Fortunes, as in his literal fortune, certainly prospered, as the French prophet said, as King Philip indeed became a pretty wealthy man during his early years of reign. Under his command, Spain also slaughtered the fleet of the Ottoman Empire at the Battle of Lepanto, which reduced the Arab army. And Philip II even enacted an expulsion of Muslim people from Spain, which seemed to line up with the prediction. However, just as foretold, things took a turn against Philip when in 1587 Mary, Queen of Scots, was executed. She had also been Catholic, and her death marked an end to Philip's alliance with England. When he attempted to have his Spanish Armada invade the country, the English were able to push back and thwart the invasion. Oh, and that young onion Nostradamus referred to, the one who would destroy King Philip II's fortune, that wasn't about a particularly expensive vegetable, but rather the 36-year-old King Henri IV of France, a Protestant who battled with Philip over their differences in religion. Speaking of more important French figures, Louis Pasteur is one of the most important when it comes to the history of science.
View message, hang on now. View message, hang on. Message has been what? Those trolls are giving a... No shit. Hey, it's a bad name, dude. They're banned. Hey, trolls! Anyone that's a troll watching, fuck you. I'll kill y'all. Bro, now's the death rate, I'll end you all. Come on. Want some action? Then come to my YouTube channel and say Kakaboo. Nothing but just a bunch of pussies. Bro, those that don't pay attention to the shit I'm watching, what the hell are you even doing on my YouTube channel in the first place? Those that don't pay attention but they just want to start shit, you a bitch then. And those that are listening but still don't believe me, then what the hell are you even doing on here? Jimmy? Hey, no, yeah, you choose, James. Yeah, you're a fucking... Yeah, banned as well now. Bitch. Banned to the Isaiah Kirkber YouTube channel. No skibbities on here. We're talking about actual truth. Trying to wake you all the hell up, motherfuckers.
Thanks to his discoveries of processes like pasteurization, which removes bacteria from things like milk in order to make them safe for human consumption, and fermentation, caused by the growth of microorganisms, proving that bacteria didn't just spontaneously appear.
Thank you, Rinaldo Castaneda.
Pasteur's early contributions to
I appreciate it,
changed
man.
the world as we know it, paving the way for vaccines, especially those used to treat rabies and anthrax. So why are we deviating from talking about a famed astrologer and seer to the man who made those important fundamental discoveries about bacteria? Well, that's because Nostradamus might have predicted Pasteur's important findings too, writing, "The lost thing is discovered, hidden for many centuries. Pasteur will be celebrated almost as a godlike figure. This is when the moon completes her great cycle, but by other rumors he shall be dishonored." That lost thing being discovered is widely believed to be referencing the microscopic organisms and processes that Pasteur studied. Given that they're so small, they remain invisible to the naked eye, or hidden for many centuries. But Nostradamus' prediction goes even further too. In 1995, it was revealed by science historian Gerald L. Geisen in his book, The Private Science of Louis Pasteur, that Pasteur had, quote, dishonored a rival by including his findings in his version of the anthrax vaccine in order to make it work. Score another one for Nostradamus. From the nice and accurate prophecies about a pioneering scientist to a foretelling of the tyrannical rise of one of history's most infamous monsters, Adolf Hitler, commander of the Third Reich and a man responsible for...
Yeah, like I said earlier, like, Nostradamus predicted this stuff because most of the people are starting to discover that World War III will be most likely be a sequel to World War II instead of World War I. So yeah, this was no joke. Nostradamus actually know this stuff. Because they actually did fight Adolf Hitler was the Antichrist before. It was funny, kind of. I mean, it's not, Adolf Hitler's not funny. I'm just saying, like, they thought he was the Antichrist, kind of, but yeah.
Humanizing atrocities ever committed. There's a high chance you already know exactly who Hitler was. After all, his life and crimes have been well documented, especially on this channel. But several centuries before he was even born, Nostradamus wrote the following: "From the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop. His fame will increase toward the realm of the east." Sounds like a fascist, right?
What the hell?
Was Hitler known to have been born to...
Wait, why is my camera... Bro, what the hell? What's going on my camera? Okay, those that don't... My camera... Okay, I'm back. Hang on. What the hell just happened? Fucking stream just ended for no reason. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Dude, YouTube, don't do that bullshit. What the fuck? Yeah, what the hell happened? Hang on, let me check something. What the hell? I'm in my house. I'm not at the skateboard thing at the Portland. Hang on. I'm back. Dude, when this live stream gets published, this video better not be like really short than it was, like, because so far I can see I've been live streaming for about like 24 minutes. I don't know why, but they just like I've been live streaming for about like 24 minutes. I don't know why, but they just like... Okay, I'm on. I've been live streaming for about like 24 minutes. I don't know why, but they just like... Dude, like, please, like, if this shit like gets like failed, like, if like when I publish this live stream, instead, like when I first press on it, and the first thing I see is just the clip from like the middle of my live stream and not like the very beginning, dude, I'll have to fucking restart this shit again. Let's just hope.
In Western Europe, just as prophesied, but like many...
Oh, wait, hang on. Unless a fucking ICE government trying to hide the shit I'm trying to tell you all. They just ended my stream. They know what I'm trying to say, huh? I see what's happening.
Yes, Hitler was also able to verbally sway people as a way of accumulating more power, a great troop, typically by manipulating their pre-existing biases. Just something to watch out for. Then, when you take into account how Hitler aligned Nazi
Why
Germany
swearing
with the
so
various
much?
Axis powers
Bro,
that
I don't
oppressed his
care,
allies during
dude.
World War II, his fame certainly did
So, bro,
increase towards
listen
the
to me.
realm of the East.
You know, I'm starting to not regret swearing because, for starters, since you know the truth about Yaldabaoth and like who the real Satan was, and the banned teachings of Jesus Christ, it's revealed that heaven is a state of mind. There's no sin, and we're all God. So me saying like bad words like fuck, shit, it's not going to affect what's going to happen to me in the afterlife. So, besides, they're just made up words. I don't know why people have to see them as really offended that no one can say them in public or even in school. They're just fucking words. See, this is why Earth is a whatever is truly soundly. That's what trash. Problem. Anyways, let's just continue on, guys. Sorry for my swearing. Just can't hold it back because I gotta deal with the trolls. So sometimes when you gotta deal with the trolls, you gotta bring out the swearings. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks to Hitler's alliance with Japan. However, this wasn't Nostradamus' only prediction related to Hitler and the Second World War. In another, he wrote that beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hister. Into a cage of iron will the Great One be drawn, when the child of Germany observes nothing. While some think that Hister is a mistranslated or outdated spelling of Hitler, it's actually the Latin name for the Danube River. This is the second longest river in Europe, running from the Black Forest in Germany all the way out to the Black Sea. The Danube flows through or shares a border with not only various parts of Germany, but also Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. And what did these places all have in common? Most were occupied by the Nazis during the Second World War. Do you want to know what else is significant about the Danube? Just a few miles away is where one Adolf Hitler was born, in the region that was known as Austria-Hungary at the time, but that was also called the Danube Monarchy. Ever the prophet to keep a close eye on his home future, Nostradamus also had a prediction about France during World War II. Hercules become king of Rome and of Animarch. A man named Ghoul is a 3-time leader.
Okay, but Hercules is like Greek demigod from Greek mythology. Like Hercules, like, well, the name Hercules, it's for starters, if you don't know, Hercules is basically the Roman name of the actual Greek name of Hercules. That will be Hercules, because the name Hercules is actually the Greek name of the word Hercules. And besides, Hercules is from Greek mythology. I don't think, okay, since if you guys watch the gods from the Bible video, that we all know the Egyptian gods exist because of Moses, but who knows? I might have to figure out some facts if Greek mythology also exists as well. The Bible, I don't know. We'll talk about that next time. Anyways, let's continue.
Clay. Of Venice will tremble. He will be renowned above all monarchs. Now hold on a minute. The Ghoul, as in Charles de Gaulle? Well, that reference is about as direct as Nostradamus tended to get in his quatrains. Sure enough, Charles de Gaulle was a 3-time leader, being the head of the Free French Forces, which was France's government in exile during the Second World War, based in London. That's 1. Following the war, de Gaulle was then prime minister of the country's provisional post-war government. That's 2. In 1958, he was the very first president of the French Fifth Republic, which made a hat trick for Mr. Charles de Gaulle, and another point on the prophetic scoreboard for reigning clairvoyant champ Nostradamus. Having foreknowledge of the future must have been pretty great for old Nostradamus, right? Is it raining outside today? Oh, it is, just like I said it would. But there are certain future events that, if he really did see them coming, must have been too horrific to even comprehend, as might have been the case with this next entry. The heavenly dart with stretch its course, death in the speaking, a great achievement. The proud nation brought low by the stone in the tree. Rumors of a monstrous human bring purge, then expiation. In August 1945, the culmination of the Second World War was marked by the destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, when the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. Hiroshima had been the site of a Japanese military base with roughly 40,000 soldiers stationed there, An estimated 140,000 people were killed.
1945 was the end of World
3
War
days
II.
after the first, another nuclear weapon was unleashed on Nagasaki, killing a further 70,000. The destruction caused was unlike anything seen in the world at the time. Any who managed to escape being instantly vaporized by the blast were faced with a slower, painful death by radiation poisoning. While the atomic bomb, the heavenly dart that fell from the sky, was widely considered to be a pivotal scientific creation, the great achievement of the Manhattan Project led to a tragic loss of lives in the proud nation of Japan. Add to it all the mention of a stone in the tree. This is thought by some to be Nostradamus' describing of the actual shape of the mushroom cloud that filled the sky after the atomic bombs were detonated, towering above what little remained of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's a grim, foreboding image that has long since been used to invoke the inherent horror of nuclear weapons, and one that Nostradamus himself might have been haunted by if his visions and writings were to be believed. Many of Nostradamus' nearly 900 quatrains pertain to historically significant disasters, such as one that seemingly foretold one of the most high-profile deaths in American history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. According to our 15th century Frenchman, the ancient task will be completed from on high. Evil will fall on the great man. A dead innocent will be accused of the deed. The guilty one will remain in the mist. Now you probably already know the story. In November 1963, JFK was shot dead in the backseat of a car while the president was being driven through Dallas, Texas. The sniper shot was thought to have been fired from a high window or a rooftop, so on high would seem to be an accurate assessment for stargazer.
You know, that's kind of similar to Trump's assassination.
And conspiracy theories have long surrounded the assassination of JFK, even 60 years after the supposed assassin Lee Harvey Oswald was pinned with the killing of the president. Many believe that either Oswald didn't act entirely alone, or that the U.S. government itself might have had a hand in killing Kennedy, with Oswald acting as the fall guy. Strangely enough, Nostradamus' prophecies almost lean directly into those speculations, especially his reference to a dead innocent being accused of the deed. Oswald consistently claimed to have been a patsy, an innocent, but was killed by the owner of a Dallas nightclub, Jack Ruby, before he could stand trial. Pretty convenient way to sweep a high-profile assassination under the rug when the accused isn't alive to defend himself. The guilty one will remain in the mist is especially ominous. But hey, it's not like the various secretive branches of the US government would ever make attempts on the lives of public figures, as the FBI and CIA would rather have you believe. Even today, nobody's entirely certain who killed JFK, with skeptics believing that Lee Harvey Oswald was indeed innocent, and with Nostradamus seemingly sharing their skepticism. Oliver Stone should have given him a co-writing credit. Speaking of the tragic deaths that left a collective scar on the history of the United States, one of Nostradamus' writings stated that the sky will burn at 45 degrees. Fire approaches the great new city. By fire, he will destroy their city, a cold and cruel heart. Blood will pour, mercy to none. Stop us if you can tell where this one's going. A great new city? Sounds a lot like New York. So great they named it twice. The sky burning, fire destroying the city, and a cold, cruel heart responsible for spilling the blood? Could Nostradamus really have predicted 9/11? One of the deadliest terror attacks in the world took place on September 11th, 2001, when two planes struck the World Trade Center. 2,753 people were killed, with a further 224 lives being lost during a concurrent assault on the Pentagon in Washington.
9/11 was no joke.
Thousands were injured, and the United States as a whole was changed forever by that.
Speaking of 9/11, hang on now.
It doesn't seem like much of a leap to link Nostradamus' reference to the great new city with New York City. Just ask any proud New Yorker and they'll tell
September
you just how
4th.
great it is. The lines about
9/11's coming up.
Heart and mercy to none seem to line up with the perpetrators of the attack, the terrorist group Al Qaeda. And as for the sky burning, well, there's a pretty high chance you've seen at least one of the famous images of the Twin Towers ablaze. But 45.
And just so you guys know, from 9/11, y'all gotta still understand, not all Muslim peoples are bad. Like there are some good ones. Like of what they're saying, like basically, like ever since after the Twin Towers were destroyed by that plane, they're saying that basically Islam is to blame. Like, of course, like, okay, like I know their teachers are false, but like not all of them are bad. Like, yo, chill out. Like, don't like let them cook, bro. Like, just let them cook.
Degrees is pretty interesting. Some believe that it's not referring to the angle of the smoke or even the towers themselves, but instead alludes to 45 degrees latitude. There's just one problem there. That is nowhere near New York. In the US, it's actually just under 500 miles away in Maine. So there's about as much of a possibility that the original version of this quatrain has been misinterpreted or mistranslated as it is that Nostradamus actually saw the 9/11 attacks coming. Let's jump a bit more forward in time to some of Nostradamus' prophecies that might have come true as recently as 2023. The first few years of the tumultuous decade that is the 2020s have definitely
fucking hate
been
that shit, yeah.
challenging for the world at large. To say the
Dude,
least.
seeing those face masks is like, oh my god, just like me seeing like a car like wearing those like blue face masks, dude, those were just bad memories, dude. I fucking hate it. Like, bro, it was kind of hard for me because, dude, like ever since COVID-19 happened, the schools, dude, back then before like COVID-19, our school would end like like summertime, like usually our schools will start around like the middle of September. So like let's say if COVID-19 didn't happen, I would be still in summer break. But ever since COVID-19, bro, we had to go back to school at like the end of August, and now, well, for some reason I don't have school today, so I don't know if I have school tomorrow though. So I don't know.
There were those who had the concern that Nostradamus' writings were foretelling of a total apocalypse that could befall Europe. One of his pieces included a line that some people think was a direct reference to the war in Ukraine. 7 months the Great War, people dead of evil doing. Rouen et Brou shall not fall to the king. The specific worry is that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine will escalate into a wider conflict. Concerns and speculations about a third world war are always rampant, especially even taking a cursory glance at the political landscape of the world over the last few years. It's certainly hard to ignore the number of innocent people who are now dead of evil doing, thanks to Putin's invasion of Ukraine, with many more forced to leave their homes and flee to safety. Although that 7-month timeline might have been a bit cynical on Nostradamus' part, at least at the time of the writing of this video, World War III, thankfully, hasn't broken out yet. From the death of many to the
I'm kind of ready for it.
It turns out Nostradamus might have seen the death of Queen Elizabeth II coming, or at least that's according to one person's interpretations of his works.
Yeah, about that.
Released in 2006, Nostradamus, The Complete Prophecies for the Future, was written by one Mario Redding and flew mostly under the radar until it managed to sell a considerable number of copies in 2022, with 5 selling just before the death of the British monarch, and nearly 8,000 copies of the book flying off the shelves in the subsequent weeks after she died. According to Redding, others who had studied Nostradamus' quatrains had overlooked an important one, given that it was indexed under the numbers 1022. Redding believed that this correlated to the date of the Queen's death, meaning it would take place during the 10th month of 2022. He wasn't far off, to be fair, since Queen Liz
It's during October.
in September 2022, the 9th.
Bro, during that,
the quatrain itself.
I was in 6th grade when that shit happened. There was also a wildfire that happened during my place. Like there was like a big blackout that happened during that time.
Because they disapproved of him, a man who later they considered unworthy. The people will force out the King of the Isles. A man will replace who will have no mark of a king. And if you know anything about the British royal family, then you might have some inclination as to which of its members Nostradamus could have been referring to. Redding believed that this prediction, as well as the foretelling of the Queen's death, was Nostradamus' way of saying that Prince Charles would likely abdicate from the throne, owing to the widespread dislike for him
what the
among
hell?
British public. A lot of Brits still resent Charles for his divorce from the widely beloved princess.
Piss and Boots, what you doing? Hey, we're trying to do some studies over here, okay? Hey. What you doing? What you doing? The hell you doing? Piss and Boots. Piss and Boots, yeah, how you doing, bud? We're on YouTube.
Diana, and harbor some pretty choice feelings toward Charles' second wife, Camilla Parker Bowles, who he'd been having an affair with before his divorce from Diana. Charles hasn't abdicated yet, but hey, there's still time. Place your bets on when down in the comments, folks. Sadly for Mario Redding, he died in 2017 and didn't get to see whether his interpretation of Nostradamus' writings were accurate. But that doesn't rule out a possible royal abdication sometime down the line, like Nostradamus supposedly foretold. In something of a late-breaking update to this particular prophecy, from as recent as early 2024, Charles III was diagnosed with cancer. If his health deteriorates badly enough, he could well be forced to abdicate, and given his penchant for alternative medicine, it's entirely possible that something like that might still happen. Speaking of weird rich guys, billionaire and social media power user Elon Musk is also believed to be the subject of one of these prophecies. Another of Nostradamus' quatrains reads as follows: "The two contenders will unite together when most others unite with Mars. The African leader is fearful and trembles. The dual alliance is separated by the fleet." Well, while our old pal Mario Redding believed pretty optimistically that this could be a foretelling of two large global superpowers joining forces to put a stop to warfare, his son Laurie has a different reading. He's convinced the African leader Nostradamus references is none other than Elon Musk, who was born in South Africa. While he's not spending too much time on Twitter, one of Musk's biggest talking points has long been colonizing Mars, which would link Nostradamus' reference to the Red Planet. There are a number of other Nostradamus prophecies that relate to events from very recent history, like one that states, "So high will the bushel of wheat rise, that man will be eating his fellow man." When taken as a metaphor, it's hard not to relate this to the financial disparity between the super wealthy and the rest of us. Inflation, the world over, has reached mind-boggling levels in the last few years, and it seems like Nostradamus could have been, if you'll pardon the pun, right on the money with that one. Hey, remember
Dude, the craziest thing. Hang on, let me pause this. The craziest thing is they're still planning to do that. Like they have a robot on Mars. Like they have a robot that's like recording like what's happening at Mars. And we all know we can't go to Venus because, dude, the first camera they tried to shoot out to Venus, it instantly melt.
Republican
Venus is that
members of the House
hot.
of Representatives were squabbling over who they wanted to elect as Speaker of the House. Infighting among the party, spearheaded by far-right members, led to the then Speaker Kevin McCarthy being ousted after a small group of Republicans caused Congress to fall into disorder. A total shutdown of the government almost happened as a result, and the whole embarrassing situation resulted in the House ousting its Speaker for the first time in U.S. history. Well, turns out Nostradamus might have had that one earmarked as coming up too. Although finding the specific prophecy relating to it is tricky, there are references and allusions to the leading power in the world facing a complicated and turbulent time. Then again, when isn't that happening? Some have thought that
The
this
hell
could be
you
related
doing,
to the
cat?
farce that took place in the House of Representatives last year. Others have interpreted it as being
What the hell you doing? Hey, you want belly rubs? What are you doing?
With its
What are you
impact on the
doing?
Vatican. The thing about
What are you doing?
writings is that
What the hell are you doing?
pretty ambiguous and very open to a wide range of interpretations. With that being said, though, quite a number of Nostradamus' predictions have been frighteningly accurate.
What the hell are
over the
you
course of
doing,
history.
cat?
But what's arguably
Hey.
even more terrifying
What are you
some of
doing?
the ones that are still
Dude,
come
you
true.
just bit me.
What does the future
The hell are you
hold for
doing?
the
Can you let
15th
go of me
century
now? I
Vatican?
can't.
Well, one of his writings.
Don't claw me. What are you doing? What? Yo, you saw that claws popping
The
out?
rainbow will not be seen. For 40 years, it will be seen every day. The dry earth will grow more parched, and there will be great floods when it is seen. While we're sure that people have definitely seen rainbows in the last 40 years, it's hard to ignore the severe changes in weather patterns occurring the world over as a result of climate change. Storms, wildfires, and climbing temperatures are much more commonplace now, with the average global temperature set to rise more than 34 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of 2024. January of this year was one of the warmest on record, with many leading climate scientists warning that we're all at a crucial point where, unless more is done now, the consequences for the entire planet could be dire further down the line.
It's already
Far
happening.
from all that could be in store in 2024, according to old Nostradamus. I hope you like geopolitical conflicts, everyone, because there could well be more on the way soon. Many experts in geopolitics are concerned about the tension between the US and China. And as the latter has grown in power, some worry it might lead to a clash between the two. Among those concerned is, well, you guessed it, a certain French astronomer. Centuries back, Nostradamus predicted that a red adversary would become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. Some have taken the red adversary to mean the Chinese Communist Party, who hasn't shied away from displaying their naval capabilities in the past, particularly around the South China Sea. That's not the only potential shakeup that Nostradamus warned was on the horizon for 2024 either. Let's jump back into that quatrain about his contested British king. The people will force out the King of the Isles. a man will replace who never expected to be king. Mario Redding wrote in his book about Nostradamus' prophecies that he interpreted this to be a reference to Charles, after abdicating, being replaced by not the popular choice of his eldest son and current heir, Prince William, but instead Prince Harry.
Dude, that's
The idea of
bullshit.
Charles's replacement being someone who has no mark of the king could easily point toward Harry, especially since his estrangement from the royal family along with his wife Meghan Markle. Then again, maybe being replaced by someone with no mark of a king means that the monarchy will be abolished, especially since that same prophecy tells of the king being driven out by the force of the people. Another of Nostradamus' upcoming predictions pertains to another world figure being replaced. The Vatican's next top
Yeah, the
pope
Pope.
might be stepping into the holy shoes soon. According to another of Nostradamus' writings, through the death of the very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. That's right, this isn't going to be just any old pope. It's going to be a new and improved young pope. Somebody called Jude Law. Pope Francis, the current pope, has long faced health problems, most owing to the fact that he's in his mid-80s. None of us are as spry as we used to be by that age. No amount of Holy Spirit can change it. So the idea of this very old pontiff being replaced by a more vigorous Roman of good age in the role of the Pope seems plausible when you take Nostradamus' word for it. But then again, he also wrote that while this young Pope might wear the big white hat for a while, Nostradamus also prophesied he would weaken his see, whatever that means. The exact meaning is open to debate. It could mean that the influence of the Vatican or the Catholic Church in general will lessen with a younger Pope at the helm, or that they could be involved in some wider scandal during his tenure. Nostradamus might well have been clairvoyant, but then again, we're talking about a man who once claimed to have invented a pill to protect from the effects of the plague. He was expelled from medical school because he was found to be practicing as an apothecary for a side hustle, and yet he still found work as a fully qualified doctor. He even used to get high on nutmeg to induce hallucinations, which could very well have formed a large part of the visions he alludes to in his purposefully vague, cryptic, and metaphorical writings. Most of his quatrains could even be applied to multiple historical events from before and after he wrote them. Take the fire approaches the great new city. That could easily be recounting the eruption of Mount Vesuvius and the destruction of Pompeii, as much as it could be foretelling 9/11. The thing about prophecies isn't really to predict or tell the future before it happens. Instead, it's almost the exact opposite. Prophecies and predictions like Nostradamus's might feel like they were portents of things to come, but really, they only take on that context after an event, usually as a way to reassure us that somebody saw it coming. Then again, maybe anyone can see the future. Let's give it a try. We predict you'll leave a like on this video and check out more episodes of the Infographic
I'll
Show,
think about
like
it.
ancient prophecies that actually came true. Or we predict that you'll watch this video instead.
That was something trippy. So those that are watching like days later on, you guys gotta understand. If you all think I'm lying about stuff like Nostradamus was not lying either way. Yeah, even you even got my fucking cat even looking against me. Like, he always looks so pissed off. Like, Lucky, hey, like, Lucky, you believe me, right? Come on, please, piss and booch. Anyways, okay, listen. I guess we'll end it here. So, our next live stream, we will be talking about who Rasputin is. So, if y'all know who Nostradamus was, then you also know who Rasputin was. Alright, chat. So, YouTube, when I end the stream, I've been live streaming for like 49 minutes. So, I better say I've been live for 49 minutes, alright?